Welcome to 3A1Z Stories.
I'm joined by Patricia Kunje, a mother of two, an experienced professional, an active member of the Malawian community in the Washington area. We will talk about raising children across cultures, balancing family, work, and education, and navigating the everyday realities of parenting in a changing digital world. Patricia, thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. I'm good to be here, and thank you, Khushnood, for allowing me to do this. Thank you.
To begin, you introduce yourself and share a little about your journey from Malawi to building a life and raising family in the United States.
Yes, so I came in the US 2007 to do my undergrad in human resource with University of Maryland University College. While I was going to college, I found this job at the Embassy of Malawi as the locally employed staff. So I've been with the embassy since then until today. I started at the front desk while I was going to school and working 9 to 5, and I'll go to school, take a train 6 to 11. To make the story short, I graduated, then I was promoted. I started as an executive assistant to the office of the ambassador. I've served 4 ambassadors, and it has been a quite interesting journey from Malawi and here in the US.
Excellent. So, that's indeed an interesting journey.
Yes.
What values or lessons from your own upbringing are most important for you to pass on to your daughters?
Yes, so I have my first daughter in 2017. She's 9 years old now. It was a bit challenging, a little bit. You know, like in Malawi, I remember us growing up, we have everyone surrounded. In short, we grew up with people while our parents are working. We have people looking after us. We don't grow up with parents. The parents will come in the evening helping us just to see what the day is. But most of the times we have nannies, we have housekeepers, we have neighbors. Here in the US, when I had my first daughter, it was very challenging because it was only me, and then fortunately enough, my 2 sisters came all the way from Malawi to be with me. So they were with me for the first 6 months. But it was hard. At the same time, I'm learning, like, I don't have a mom here, I don't have a... You start on your own, that you're new parents, how do you do things? And you have to depend on the doctors, and my sisters were cooking for me, had to adjust. So it was a little bit hard, and fortunately at the Embassy of Malawi we have 3 months maternity leave, so that also helped me. I was away from three months, then I also took my annual leave, so I was home with my daughter for 4 months at home. And after my first daughter, I was like, I'm not going to have another child because this is something which I don't think I can manage, because in between you also have to cook, you also have to time for yourself and everything. But it has been a quite journey.
You're right, yes. As a father of 4, I know what you have been going through. What have been some of the greatest joys and challenges of raising children with both Malawian and American culture influences?
Right now, because the second one, she's 7 years old, the first one being 9. The second one, she's more, I can tell in my own way, she's more American than the first one. She questions everything, and we have to explain. Because growing up, as I said, in Malawi, we all have the community. I'm the firstborn in the family, but I wasn't the first child to be in the house. We have cousins, we have uncles,
right.
We have, yes. So we learn to be together, and we depend each other. At the same time, we have the culture, like, you don't answer back to your parents unless it's your time to. So what I'm finding so hard with my daughters is, like, when you tell them something, they have to question, like, why do you have to question me? Go brush your teeth. So it'd be like, why are they questioning me? I remember growing up, I never questioned my parents. We need to do homework. Can you give us 30 minutes? But I'm looking at my schedule, I'm like, that 30 minutes, we still have to make dinner, I still have to put you to bed. This is the only time I have. So it has been quite challenging just to navigate all that, and also to look back, like, okay, what was other things maybe I didn't have they have. They have the choice to pick up food. Like, okay, we don't want rice today. We want some pasta. While when I'm growing up in my daddy's house, as I've said, we have so many dependents, people who are depending on my dad. Yeah, 10, 15 sometimes, especially this summer, all my cousins will come to stay in my father's house. So there wasn't any choice. If today it's rice, you have to eat rice. If it's beans, you have to eat what is provided. But for my kids, I'm thinking I'm learning not to be in that way, because we can also afford other things. But at the same time, I'm also learning to put some boundaries, because sometimes I feel like they're very entitled. They seem like it's a restaurant. Like, okay, one want mac and cheese, one want rice, one want salmon, the other one want something. So I'm also trying to navigate in that way without pushing them their need, but at the same time discussing as a family, like, okay, you have to eat what is provided, because as you know, here we don't have that much time like can be in the kitchen the whole day cooking for someone. And the other thing which I've also seen challenging them, I think I was fortunately enough, my dad, we were girls, 4 girls and 1 boy. The boy was born at the end. But my dad kind of included us in some of the decisions. So I'm also doing the same thing with my daughters. Like, okay, this week, this is what we're doing. What do you think we need to do?
Right.
Yes. I think like including them in decision making, it's making things so much easier, because they understand that, okay, this is the schedule for this week. This is what we're going to do. Because sometimes weekend they want to go somewhere and I'm not in that mood to go with them. So I said, okay, last week we went to the pool. This weekend, can we just rest in the house and do something?
Yeah, that's great, Patricia. You have balanced motherhood with a demanding career and graduate education.
Mm-hmm.
What has that experience looked like behind the scenes? And what has helped you manage those responsibilities?
Yes, it has been a journey. And I'll have to be honest with you. It wasn't easy, and it's not easy. As the mom, graduate student, career woman, you also have to work. And my job at the embassy, sometimes it doesn't have time limit. It doesn't have the weekend. There will be something which they need in Malawi on Saturday, or something the ambassador need on a Sunday. I still have to attend to it. But because I have to be certain things I cannot be able to do, I need your help. So if I want to study, sometimes I'll go to the library rather than being in the house. I'll be in the library from 6 up to 8. And sometimes I'll tell the kids, okay, mommy need to study on Saturday. So when you wake up, you need to go to daddy so mommy can study. Sometimes my work starts at 10 p.m. because I also want to be with them. So after dinner, I put them to bed. That's when I start working, 10 p.m. Because 10 p.m., that means it's 5 a.m., 6 p.m. Malawi time. So that also gives me the advantage because of time difference. Even though my work, for example, the ambassador will say, Patricia, these documents need to be in Malawi tomorrow. There tomorrow, it's good for me because 10 p.m. I'll send them those documents. When they start work in Malawi, find those documents. So it has also helped me, the flexibility, like working at the embassy and being here. It has also helped me, that flexibility. And I also have some family members. I've made friends here who have become family. And when I have to go, like for example, when we were going to Thunderbird in DC, I'll ask my friends, okay, my classes are Friday and Saturdays. Can we do a play date? So my kids will go sleep over Friday to Saturday. Saturday, when I'm coming from school, I'll pick my kids and their kids. I'll drop them on Sunday. So that too kind of helped me to do other stuff, but depends on the community and everything, and my husband. And also
Right.
my boss was very understanding. She was a woman, and fortunately her end 2 of July just finished last month. She emphasized on education. So when I was doing my undergrad, she was like, no. Let us know, as long as you do your work doesn't compromise, your school doesn't compromise with your work, that's fine. So I managed. and I did, but it was very, very hard, but
Great.
manageable.
Beside a lot of challenges that you just named and mentioned, the good thing was your employer and your job. You had flexibility to manage your
Yes, yes,
workloads.
yes.
Right. So let's jump on about your girls' schools and education system here. What has your experience been like navigating the American school system and supporting your daughter's education here in the United States?
Yeah, the first thing, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like that the kids don't wear uniforms. That was one of the challenge. I found it hard, like, okay, they're gonna be wearing clothes the whole year. That means more shopping, more spending money. Because I went to Catholic schools in Malawi and we all have to wear uniforms. That was so much easier. At the same time, the homework, my school, we didn't have homework growing up. You have to do homework at school. After school, you are free, you have to play and everything. But here, you have to do homework and you have to be with them all the time. So we also have to make schedule. And I was happy for COVID when COVID happened because I have to work from home. So it was so much easier for me to do homework with my daughter, to do some schoolwork, and it kind of helped a lot. And the other thing I like about here, the American school, it's the resources. You have the resources. If you are stuck somewhere, you can navigate the system. And for me, because I grew up all my grade 6 up to 12, I was in boarding school. So I was so much independent. I knew when to go to study, when to do this very young age. So I'm also trying to teach my kid the same. My first daughter, because she's 9, at least we can talk. She understands. I have to do this by this time. I have to do this. My 7-year-old, as I mentioned, she's more like American, questioning everything. So we are still working on it. Like, okay, you have to do this. But she's very smart. So the problem is, because she knows, for example, if she got all A's and she come back, she'll be like, Mommy, why are you worried about me in class? You see, I got the A's, so you don't need to worry. At the same time, as I've mentioned, she questions a lot. Everything she has to question, and sometimes she even questions the teachers. So for me, my worry is like the teachers understand her, because you also have to understand the history of this country somehow. She's a girl and she's black like me, so she also have her own challenges. For me, growing up, we were all same, all black girls, boarding schools, and all this. We didn't have that. So one of the challenge I did encounter with my second child was her color. She was bringing the color issue. Why am I like this? My friends have got straight hair. My friend was laughing about my hair and all this.
Mhm.
So that was one thing, was like, it kind of hit me, because everything for me was normal. As I've mentioned, I work at the embassy. Most of the people there are like me. And I never grew up where going to school, race, gender was an issue. Gender, yes, because sometimes we could fight with boys, because boys and girls.
Right.
Apart from Okara and other thing, it wasn't there. And so when I came here, I was naive too. To me, it didn't cross me and everything and all that, until my daughter started going to school. She started mentioning about this, the hair issue, the color issue, and all this. So the good thing is her teacher was very good. As I'm saying, she's open-minded, so she went straight to the teacher. Oh, this one was telling about this was telling this. So the school communicated to me, do you think, how can we move together so that she should also feel this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to tell her black, it's a combination of different colors and all this and all that. So now she's getting there, but that was one of my worry, and I'm still worried about it. As you know, girls, the confidence, sometimes certain words, certain things, yes, the appearance, it becomes an issue. So we are still working on it. We're balancing on it, just assuring her that she's beautiful, she's this, she's smart. So we're working on it. But my first daughter, we never had that problem. But the second one, so I'm still balancing it, trying to remind them where we're coming from, where this. So that's why I made sure every other 2 years I send them to my grandparents. Like right now, they are with my grandparents within Malawi.
Nice.
They can also see people, more people with the same color and everything. So they need to understand where they're coming from. And by the end of the day, I tell them, you are beautiful girls and you are human beings.
So let's talk about one of the questions which is very important nowadays for parents, and we have been receiving a lot of those similar questions, and we have been trying to find out the best answers from parents' experiences and experts to deliver reliable information to parents. So in terms of managing the screens and smartphones for your kids, how have smartphones, social media, and artificial intelligence changed the way you think about parenting?
Parenting, I think it's evolving. The same my parents were, it's different with how I'm parenting my kids. As I've said earlier, back home, we're raised by nannies and housekeepers, uncles, aunties. But here, you are the parent. 24/7, you are the parent. You have also to make sure you have provided them with everything and all that. At the same time, there's a challenge of social media, gadgets, digital gadgets, and everything. So, like in my house, they only, for now, with this 9 and 7, they only have tablets. The bigger one has an iPad, the little one has Amazon tablet.
Right.
So, we have made a deal that tablets are only Fridays after school to Sunday, 8 p.m. So, they only have their tablets 4 p.m. on Friday, and they have to bring them back 8 p.m. It has worked very well, and trust. I didn't want to hide them. I wanted them to. I didn't want to hide them so that we're going to build the trust. They can trust them. They can also trust me. So I always ask them, okay, on Sunday you have to put them in my bed before you go to sleep. So it has been good. I haven't seen anyone sneaking to get them, sneaking without mommy's permission or without daddy's permission. What I'm trying to do, because all those gadgets are registered with their dad, I'm trying to have, how can I put it, reduce the screen time, not more than 2 hours. It has to be 1 hour, then they need to get break. And what I've noticed, when they don't have their tablets, they read books, they do normal stuff. Like my youngest is still into doors, building these, painting, writing, and all this. So she have all this, she have toys everywhere. If she doesn't have tablets, she'll do her toys, she'll paint, she'll color, she become more creative. When they have tablets, trust me, you can call them 3 times. They don't know their names. They will not answer you. But the moment they don't have tablets, they listen, they do everything. They become more creative, cutting their dolls' hair, trying to do clothes, to try to play with whatever they can do. Just normal kids. That's how I grew up. We have to go outside to play like normal kids, to play with mud, to play with sticks, stones. We go in the bush to find something, to climb trees, which here they don't have that opportunity. And the other thing is, they have tried to come to mommy, can we record these videos for social media? I'm like, no, you're not that age. But there's this child on YouTube. She's only 7 years old. She's 9 years old. So I'll be like, okay, their parents can allow them, but in this house, you're not there yet. You have to be an adult to do that, and someone has to supervise you and all. So it's a challenge because they're seeing it. Other kids are doing it. Why not us? So that's the question. Yes. Why not us? At the same time, you don't know what is happening in there. It's more commercial. These tablets and everything, or this YouTube, it's commercial, right? So the question is, who's responsible? Is it a parent or those app creators if something happened to your child, or the content which they're seeing there? Who's responsible with that? Because for me, I feel like they're putting that responsibility to us parents to control it. But at the same time, to how much can a parent control? At the same time, technology is good. Like my daughter now, she checks weather a night before, just to make sure what kind of clothes I want to wear the next day. So can I say no to check the weather online or something, trying to protect them? No. I would just say, okay, want to check your weather, check the weather from my phone and give it back to me and all that. And they're also there's some educational stuff which we cannot take them out, but we just have to, as parents, trust them,
trust where they were going and put limitations. Like there's certain app they cannot download. So the parents, we still have to have that control on us and keep on talking about the danger of social media, about the danger of other stuff. Because like my daughter, the other day she was asking me, Mommy, can I have a skincare routine, makeup? I'm like, okay, you're only 7 years. Why do you want that for? Yeah, because they have some skincare for kids like me. So I have to sit down with her, telling her that those are commercials. Someone is making money out of it. There's no skin makeup for like a 7-year-old. What are you going to do with it? So it's a challenge, but it's also something which we need to navigate together.
So let's jump to the other question, that through your volunteer work and community services that you're doing, what have you so far learned from the issues, concerns, and challenges of other families, that mainly those who are building new life in a country like United States? What support do really they need in parenting and in navigating today's digital challenges?
It's a quite challenging, especially for us who have got different cultures. I would say, like, for you and I who came from our home countries and studying your journey here, it can be hard because sometimes we want to incorporate our cultures. At the same time, we also want our kids to be free with this new culture. And we have these limitations of resources and everything, the community. So, like for me, it has been so much. The church has been one of my community. I like to volunteer at the church. Sometimes I volunteer a place just to know how things work. For example, I volunteered at the men's shelter in DC, New York Avenue. Because working in DC, I could see all these people with homelessness. Then my question was like, how does America, the superpower, the economy, with this big economy, we have people who are on the street. So I registered to volunteer just to know them better, to understand. So that gave me something to think about, like, you know what? Sometimes we stereotype people because of the way, without knowing them. But first, you need to know their stories. When you know their stories, you're going to accommodate them. You're going to give them the right resources. And then the conversation starts. That's when you build your community. At the same time, that's what made me to also join the Malawi Washington Foundation, which we help girls' education. Because when I was in boarding school, we started class with 40 girls. By the end of the school, maybe we were 35. 5 of them, they'd stopped coming to school. Later on, that's when I learned that they didn't have the tuition fee to pay. But for us, we're like, maybe she just left. She got married. She got this. She got this. She got that. But the more you join something, you understand the challenges. You understand that community. So be able to provide the resources. So now I do volunteer. I'm a board secretary for the Malawi Washington Foundation, which helps girls' education, get their tertiary education or secondary education. But before, I would just see someone drop school. It wasn't in my head like, why do they drop school? But they said, when you're on top of the elephant, you don't understand that there's the grass underneath, right? So it was like that. I go to school. Everything was fine for me, all that. But the moment I started joining these communities, that's when it's like eye-opening, like, oh, okay, there's a little this need, there's a little this and all that. So as a community, for you and I who came from different things, the church is one thing. And for me, it has been easy because working at the embassy, I'm also working with my fellow Malawians. So I have connection with my Malawian community. So it has also helped me. But for someone who's coming outside here, first thing, accommodation to navigate everything and all that, and all this, it's a challenge. So I don't know how we can help that. But for me, the advice is join other groups which are doing the same thing. In there, you learn so much, and then you're going to be able to source other resources to help someone. And don't be afraid, like this last month, I've joined this group at my church, St. Vincent Paul's. They help people who have lost power, water, electricity, or all that kind of stuff. I'm just learning. I've attended 2 meetings because the same with the economy and everything that's going on. There's so many people who don't have something. And it's only that it's not about money, but it can be your time. It can be your talent. Helping people with their CV, helping people how to get the next job, helping people how to write their covering letter, helping people, all that is something which all the communities need, especially the immigrant community. When you came here, you don't know anything, you don't know nobody, you're trying to navigate yourself. And you also have these kids who are trying to settle down, to settle if you come with kids and everything. Sometimes I'll go to my friend's house. The kids will not greet at you. While in our culture, when you go to if you have visitors in your house, you have to greet them. It doesn't matter. And you offer them water, you offer them food. But here it's different. So I'm also teaching my kids like, okay, if someone came in this house, you have to say hi or hello, hi or something or that. So we are balancing, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, excellent. So we are reaching the end of the session. There's one last question. Looking ahead, what are your greatest hopes for your daughters? And what do you think and hope they will remember the most about the way you raised them?
I don't know what they'll remember, but my hope is they have to understand that, but despite everything, they're human beings. As human beings, you can achieve everything. And I remember my 9-year-old daughter was so disappointed that Kamala Harris didn't want the elections. It was because one of the boys in her class told her that a girl cannot be a president. So we were betting on it. I was like, no, a woman can be a president. In Malawi, we had a woman president. In Liberia, they had a woman president. So I have to live for other countries where they have a woman president. So I have to remind them that they're human beings. So there are going to be certain challenges which they cannot avoid them, but at the same time, they can do whatever they want and they will be fine as long as they do the right things.
Patricia, thank you for sharing your experiences and reflections with us. Your story offers a thoughtful look at the joys and challenges of raising children across cultures while balancing family, work, and personal growth.
Yes.
We hope this conversation leaves you with something useful for your own parenting journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me to be here. And I'm also looking forward to learn more from your other parents. I've read some stories from your website, and I hope we'll learn more from other parents because we have to learn from each other. That's how we can help navigate these challenges.